Hello guys, it's your girl Gift and See, and you're welcome to my channel Gift and See Couture. So in today's story I want to show you how to cut and sew this beautiful dress. Okay, this is when I tie it and this is when I untie it with the next video. Okay, so if it's something you really want to learn, kindly stay tuned, and if it's your first time, kindly subscribe to my channel. So I actually used 2 yards of bias and some other few toes there. Well, the first thing I did was to measure 1 inch, which is my top line. Okay, so that top line is normally is 1 inch. Okay, and then connect it. Okay, I went ahead to measure my full front length, which is also known as half length. Okay, please, if this is your first time of watching my videos, kindly subscribe so you can always get notifications whenever I post a new video. So actually my full front length is 17. Okay, note the full front length or the half length, whichever way you see it or you might call it, is 17, and it's always different. It's different from the nap to waist, like the back length. Okay, so now I went ahead to measure 8 inches downward away from the full front length, and I connect the line. Sorry, I didn't know that it was not really showing. So after I finished doing that, I went ahead to measure 1.5, which is going to serve as my shoulder length. Okay, to get the shoulder slant. All right, and then connect the lines. So this is basically the front. Okay, you can as well do the front and the back together, but let's just focus on doing the front though. So I went ahead to measure my bust point, which is 9.5. Sometimes I use 9.5, sometimes I use 10. Okay, and then I went ahead to measure my under bust. I don't even know why I use the under bust though, but under bust is not really necessary in this video. So after that, I connected the lines. So this is my bust point. So from there I went ahead, from my bust point I measured 2 inches upward, which is my across chest, and then I connect the lines. Note we have shoulder front and we have across chest. Okay, I went ahead to measure my shoulder measurement, which is for the front is actually 12.5. I divided by 2, so I got 6.2. And then I went ahead to measure my neckline. This is basically a guide. Okay, this is not what I'm using, and then I connect it so I can actually get the slope. Actually use 2.5 for the necklines, both the width and the depth. Okay, and then I connected it to get the shoulder slope. You can see 1.5 to get the shoulder slope. So from there I went ahead to measure my across chest, okay, which is 12 inches, and divided by 2, and then connect the lines. So after I finished doing that, I went ahead to measure my bust measurement, because whatever I have on the bust measurement is what I'm going to use on the across chest in order to get the armhole contour. All right, just like what I did. Now the distance from there to there is what you are going to divide by 4. So whatever you have, you divide by 4. Actually got 0, like half inch. So from my shoulder to that across chest, whatever I have, you divide it by 2. So the midpoint you are going to take in by 0.3, and then you contour the armhole. This is basically how to contour your armhole. Okay, so from there I went ahead to measure my cross check my armhole measurement to know if it's actually correct, and I actually got 8.5 because I'm a size 6. Okay, so I went ahead to take my waist measurement and my hip measurement on the lines that I've drawn. Okay, so my hip is actually 36, so I divided it just like you see me do. Okay, so from there I went ahead to connect my measurement from my bust, okay, to my hip directly. For this tutorial I don't really need the that because I'm not a fan of that. Okay, so for people that really want to, in case you want to use this pattern and you want to use that, you can go ahead and follow the method I'm going to show you. So from there I went ahead to measure my bust span, which is 7. I divided by 2 and I got 3.5. So from there I went ahead to measure now the distance from that where I actually placed my tape rule. From there, whatever you have, you divide it by 3. That's for the front, okay? So I actually got 2 inches for my own. Yours can be 3, yours can be 1.5, depending. So whatever you have, just divide it by 3, okay? And share the dot. But in this tutorial, I'm not this. You can see the way I place the tape rule, okay? Connect it. Like I said earlier, I don't need the dart, okay? So I'm going to get rid of this dart. So after I finish doing this, look at the way I place my tape rule. So in this tutorial, in this video, I don't need that, okay? In this there I was even trying to explain what the reason I don't need that, the next steps to do. So look at it now. I've gone ahead to remove the dart, so there is no dart, and you can see the shape there. So the next thing is just for me to put the side bust, which is 2 inches. You might be wondering, where did she get the side bust? Now the side bust is when you minus your nap to waist, okay, from your full front length, okay? So if you're interested in learning how to take your body's measurement, kindly comment on the comment section, and I will do that for you. Okay, so from there I went ahead to add ½ inch, okay, which is going to use for the joining allowance, okay. So from there I went ahead to put 1 inch. I don't really like much seam in my clothes, so actually use 1 inch and then connect it all the way. So from my waist downward, I measured 9. I added 1 to it instead of the hip length, which is 8, and then I connect. I actually did that because I saw in that video that the dress was kind of below the hip length. So from the side, I go in by 4 inch and then connect it to get the back's effect. I hope you are getting it. Okay, so just like what I did, so I went ahead to measure the back, take this exact measurement. Now if you are yet to subscribe to my channel, please kindly do so I can always get recommended by YouTube, and also so you can always get notified whenever I post a new video. So I went ahead to measure 15 inches, which is my nap to waist, okay, and then connect the lines. So now you can see my nap to waist is 15 and my full front length is 17. So that 2 inches is where I actually use as my side bust, okay. So from there I went ahead to measure 1.5, which is going to use as my shoulder line to get the shoulder slope, and also mark the 2.5 just like I did when I went ahead to measure my bust point, okay. Please don't forget to like, comment and share these videos, okay. So that's it. And for the back, we don't really need much measurement, okay. So I went ahead from there. I went ahead to measure from the bust point. I took 2 inches upward, which is going to serve as the across back. Like I said earlier, we have across back, we have across chest, we have shoulder back, and we have shoulder front. So if you are here to know all those things, just let me know in the comment section, okay. If you're interested in learning all the two, as in the measurements, please let me know in the comment section, okay. So I went ahead to share my measurement just like the way I did, and on the across chest, my across back rather, is 13 divided by 2. I got 6.5, and on the shoulder back is actually 14 divided by 2. I got 7. All right, and then connect the lines. So for the neckline, actually use 2.5, just like this one is not what I'm using, okay. I'm just using as a guide to get the shoulder slope. So from there measure 2.5 and then connect to get the shoulder slope with my ruler, okay. If you're yet, please, if you don't understand, you can pause the video and go back again, okay. You can just, I went ahead, I've forgotten that I'm not even making use of the joining. I went ahead to measure ½ inch. So on the across back, I measured my bust measurement just like the way I did. Now the distance from there, you are going to divide it by 2. Note the back is by 2 while the front is by 4, and then I went ahead to put my sewing allowance, which is half inch. So I went to the waistline and measure my bust, which is my waist measurement. Okay, so on the waist measurement I actually remove 1 inch because of that. Like, the back is not always straight, it has this hollow effect. Okay, so from there I actually remove one, okay, and then replace it from the side and replace it there. So that's just it. The next thing I did was to go ahead and um add my seam allowance, and that's all. So I went to the front to actually get the normal allowance, okay, the neckline. So I went down by 7 inches. Okay, yeah, I think, okay, it was 7 inches. And then for the back the same thing. Okay, for the front I used 6.5 because I didn't really want it to go low. Okay, and for the back I used the same thing. I went ahead to cross check the arm also that it will align. I don't want something that the front they will be longer than the back, or the back will be longer than the front. That's why I went ahead to retake my measurement. So I'm going to go ahead and cut it out now. So after cutting it out, I'm going to go ahead and look at it now. You can see the way I actually held the dart side, dart the front dart, so that when I'm sewing it, it will be able to align. So I went ahead to cut my full front length, which is also called the half length, and then the backs, the lower part, and that's it. I didn't want to edit this part though. I wanted you guys to see how I'm doing the cutting, so that you won't feel like I actually update some parts away. Okay, now for the back rather, remember I removed 2 inches away, so we are cutting this one out. I hope you are getting it. And just like the way I removed 1 inch from the back, which is going to from the zip side, okay, the back, just like this, I'm going to go ahead and remove 1 inch as well from the lower part, and then connect it. So after I finish doing that, I'm going to go ahead and add my seam allowance, and then bring it down by just like what I did. I retook my measurement. Okay, I measured my hip measurement, and the same thing I did the same thing there. Okay, and then connect lines. So after I finished doing this, I went ahead to put my seam allowance, which is 1 inch. You can put 2 or 1.5 if you like, but I don't really like much allowance. Oh, please don't forget, if you are here to subscribe to my channel, and please don't forget to like this video, and don't forget to um click on the subscribe button. Okay, so this is when I finish cutting the paper, okay, the pattern, and I'm going to cut the fabrics. Note, when you are cutting the fabric, we have, actually use stitches. We have the stretchy part and the side that is not stretchy. So the stretchy side, make sure you fold it like border to border. I'm sorry I didn't record this place, but if you have watched my previous videos, I've shown you how to cut the your fabric borders to borders. Okay, so that to avoid the stretchiness. Now I've gone ahead to cut the sleeves. I actually use 9 inches, the total of 9 inches for the sleeve, so that when I fold like 1 inch up for the elastic and 1 inch for the elastic too, the total will now be 7. And for the width, okay, so I use I'm 14. Okay, I didn't want it to be too full. So from there, in order for me to continue, I went ahead to trim one side of my bias, because I don't really like when I'm sewing my bias, it will be the sewing will now be big. No, I don't like it. It will be bold rather. So after I finished trimming my bias, I went ahead to measure my side dart. Note, there is a method, like a technique for sewing side dart. Okay, now from with my side to the bust point is actually 5.5, so I'm not going to sew the exact 5.5. I'm going to minus 1, making remaining 4.5. So from just like this, and don't forget to notch your dart, please. Okay, I actually forgot that. Actually, I notch mine. So measure that 4.5. Yours might not be 4.5 depending on your size. So and sew it. This is when I finish sewing it. Okay, note you have to remove 1 inch. Okay, don't allow it to get to the apex like your bust point. Okay, so from there I'm going to go ahead and use my bias, okay, to sew it the neck. Okay, if you're going to use crepe, like a crepe fabric or something else, you might decide to use what's it called, lining. Okay, but this is when I finished using my bias. You can see how neat it is. It wasn't big, very neat. Since it's going to be your first time of using cutting your bias, you just have to take time, okay, and do it neatly just like the way I did. So I went ahead to join the side, like the lower part. Okay, so after I finished doing that, this is the gathers part, the side I'm going to use as gathers. You might be wondering the length. Actually use 16, but if you want your own to be longer than the video that you saw, you can actually use 18 or 17. Okay, and for the width, I folded the 2 yards of fabric together and I cut it. So I went ahead to join the side, and this is when I was done joining the side. Please, when you are sewing, make sure you cut off your threads so that to make your work neat. And when you are sewing your bust, that just like the way I lifted it up, do not raise it up. It should lay down. Just lay down. Okay, so I went ahead to notch the center of the lower part, because if you notice, the center front is kind of open. Okay, so from that center part I skip like 1.5 inch, okay, on both sides, or 1.5, and this is what I got. So I'm going to go ahead and draw my gathers. Like I said, I actually use 16. If you want your own to be longer, you can use 17 or 18. Okay, depending on the length. Okay, but this is when I finished drawing my gathers. I went ahead to cross check it because I didn't want double work. I wanted to be sure of the measurement. So I went ahead to join the both sides, okay, and then join it together. So for the zip part, I actually fixed my zip off the camera. I'm sorry about that. Guess what? I use invisible zip. So after that, I went ahead to use to weave it. I know it's not the color of the thread, but the cloth fabric rather. The thing is, it's my dress, okay? So that's just what happened. So I went ahead to sew the center. I sew it down and I iron it. Please make sure you cut off your threads, okay? Cut off your thread, and from there I went ahead to join the lower part to itself. Okay, now I've actually forgot, I measured like 36 of this rope and then sew it. Please, if you have the toner, you can use the rope toner to make it tiny. I don't have. You can see my own is a bit bigger. So from there, make sure you centralize the upper part, okay, and then divide it and marked at the center. Stitch it there, stitch it properly, and this is the outcome after I did that. Okay, after I finished doing that, I went ahead to join the lower part, and this is the outcome. When you are done, make sure you iron your clothes properly. Okay, so this is the next thing, is to fix the zip. Okay, after fixing the zip, I went ahead to sew the down part. Like, actually it was neat though. So this is after I finished, I went ahead to sew the sleeve, and this is when I was fixing the elastic. Okay, so after I finished fixing the elastic, this was when I went ahead to fix the sleeves. Okay, just like this, I went ahead to fix the sleeve, and this is the outcome. I hope you like this video. Thank you and God bless you. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. God bless you.